So, good morning. We're starting a new unit, and this is Unit 5, where we look at exponential growth. So, in your book, turn to page 278. Splitting bacteria. So, it says there's some bacteria in a dish. Every hour, each bacterium splits into 3. Right? This diagram shows bacterium in 1 hour. In hour 0. Then 1 hour. Draw what happens in hours 2 and 3. So please note, right? This is not as though the bacterium that was present in hour 0 or initially is, giving birth to 3 others and sticking around, right? The one that was present initially split into 3. So there are only 3. So it's not 3 plus 1, it's just 3. Right, so bear that in mind when you go ahead and you draw what happens in hours 2 and 3 and say how many exist in each. So it might help for you to pause the video, do that, and then come back to check your answers. So this bacterium right here splits into 3. This one splits into 3. This one splits into 3, right? For a total of 9. Okay. Each of the blue ones split into 3. Each of the green ones split into 3. All right. Each of the red ones, again, you guessed it, split into 3. Gives you a total of 27. Oops, daisy. Right, just 27. All right, so initially, right, there was 1. After 1 hour, there was 3. Then 9 and 7. If you note, okay, these correspond to powers of 3, right? 3 to the 0 is 1. 3 to the first power is 3. 3 to the second is 9. 3 to the third is 27. Alrighty. So 1.2, genie in a bottle. So you're walking along a beach and your toe hits something hard. You reach down, grab onto a handle, and pull out a lamp. It is sandy, you brush it off with your towel. Poof, a genie appears. He tells you, "Thank you for freeing me from that bottle. I was getting claustrophobic. You can choose one of these purses as a reward." Purse A contains $1,000 today. Not bad for just finding something. If you leave it alone, it will contain $1,200 by tomorrow. The next day will have $1,400. The pattern of 200 additional dollars per day continue. Purse B has only 1 penny. Leave that penny in there because tomorrow it will magically turn into 2 pennies. Ooh. Okay, next day will be 4. This amount will continue to double each day. How much will be in each purse after 1 week, after 2 weeks? And number 2 says after 3 weeks, then after 30 days. Okay. So once again, you might want to pause, try and answer those questions. Come back when you're ready. All right, so let's take a look. So my approach would be, I prefer, whenever possible, to find equations, formulas, so that really I have to do as little as possible. You know, efficiency is the goal, really. Alrighty. First purse. Total amount of money is going to be $1,000 to begin with, and then $200 every day afterwards. All right. So week 1, okay, will be $1,000 plus okay. It's every day, so week 1 is 7 days, so that's 200 times 7. So that gives me 1,400 plus 1,000. That gives me $2,400 for the first week. Right? $2,400 for the first week. So if every week is going to be $1,400, week 2 will be $3,800, right? Can confirm this using our formula. Right? So 28 plus 1,000. Oops, daisy. So that will be $3,800. All right, purse B. If you look at purse B, the total starts off with 1 penny, right? But then you are multiplying that by 2 every day. You are doubling your pennies every single day. So this is 2 to the power of the day, right? Because you keep multiplying by 2 over and over again, right? So the first day you multiply by 2, so you have 1, then you multiply by 2, then you multiply by 2, then you multiply by 2 per day. So you are doubling. So 2 is the base and it's an exponent. Okay, the number of days is the exponent. And 1 times 2 to the d is, of course, 2 to the d, right? So 2 to the 7th power would be week 1, which would be 2 to the 7th. $128, right? That's 128 pennies. So for dollars, of course, it's $1.28. Okay. Then after week 2, it's 2 to the 14th. So that is 16,384 pennies, which of course in terms of dollars is $163.84. So that's where we stand with weeks 1 and 2. Okay. So now week 3 for purse A. For week 3, all right, would be $1,000 plus $200 every day for 21 days. So that will give me $5,200. For purse B, okay, it's going to be 2 to the 21st, which is oops, 2 to the 21st. Okay, 12. Okay, so this is over 2 million pennies, it looks like, right? Yep. which in terms of money gives us $20,971.52. Not bad, right? Started off as pennies and look where you are. All right. For number 3, purse A after 30 days would be 1,000 plus 200 times 30, which gives us 7,000, which now looks like a paltry sum compared to purse B, which is 2 to the 30th, which, let's see, woo. All right. So this looks like, ooh, you're a millionaire 10 times over. Look at that. All right. So initially, seemed like purse A had the advantage, right? But I mean, after 30 days, you have $10 million if you chose purse B, whereas, measly 7,000 if you chose purse A. All right, so 1.3, look at the graphs. So these are representations of the amount of money in the purses. And it says which graph shows the amount of money in purse A, which one shows the amount of money in purse B, right? So of course, here would be purse A with its linear growth. You're adding the same amount every time you get a straight line. Right? And of course, that also, this is 10,000 and divided by 5. So each of these is 2,000 per unit. This is halfway between 0 and 2. So that's 1,000. That also helps because that tells us that initially it started off with 1,000, right? And then look here. Purse B with the exponential growth. Okay, so started off initially with what's relatively slow-paced growth, and then all of a sudden it starts to grow at a really rapid pace. Points P and Q are labeled on the graph. Explain what they mean in terms of the genius offer. Right, so P is right here. So point P is the amount of money in purse. This is on, so purse B, okay, after 9 days. Whereas point Q is the amount of money in purse A after 5 days. What are the coordinates of the vertical intercepts? Please remember, okay, recall that vertical means y-axis. Okay, the y-axis. Okay, so for purse A, it would be 0, 1,000. And how do I know this? Because initially the purse had $1,000, right? And it's the number of days is day 0, which means initially, right? So initially there was $1,000 in the purse. Oopsie daisy, my typing. All right. And then for purse B, now you're not going to be able to see that due to the scale, right? But that doesn't matter. You need to think about what the y-intercept means. And it means the amount of money initially. And we know that that was 1 cent. So we're not going to write it as 1 though, since the amount is in dollars. So 1 cent, of course, is $0.01. So that is what we're going to write. Okay. Okay. When does purse B become a better choice than purse A? And it looks like right here at about day 19. And the reason for that is that's the first time the amount in purse B becomes greater than the amount in purse A. Now, which purse would you choose? I mean, unless you have something against money. I mean, that's a personal preference. I know which one I would choose. All right, the assignment is page 282, numbers 1 through 5.